much. I actually think it is the question that I've been asked the most on my channel. And that is, how do Norwegians become friends, get like girlfriends and boyfriends and like that. And I think the reason that people ask that is because I said in the video that's called Americans versus Norwegian, or the opposite way, I'm sure, but something like that. And I said that Norwegians don't talk to strangers. And that is true, but I think we have a bit of a different thought on what is a stranger. For example, what is not normal to do in Norway is to talk to like random strangers on the street or on the bus or in a mall or something like that. But we are, like, everybody is strangers to each other before we get to know each other. But we don't really consider people who go to your class that you never met before. I know that they are strangers, but they aren't strangers in the same sense, because you are kind of included in the same thing. For example, the same class or at work or something. So then it is like acceptable to talk to strangers if they are at work, or if you meet them at a party, or yeah, at school. So that's how we really form friends. We meet, I think the most people I know have friends, and my friends are from people who have been in my class for several years. So that is basically how we form friends. I'm not saying that this is the way that everybody makes friends. I know that everybody's different. Maybe some people meet people at the bus and make friends. I have never heard about that in Norway before, but from the comments that I have gotten on my video, it seems like some Norwegians didn't agree at all with what I said. But I have never ever heard about anybody who became friends after talking on the bus or in a mall or on the street or something like that. I never heard about that. So that is basically how we become friends. The next thing that I said, it is not common to ask people for a date. And then, like, how do you find somebody to be with if you aren't dating? Here it is really individual, and I can't talk for everybody, but I think it's the most common type is actually here in your class, or like you meet people, your friends or something like that. When I went to high school, we were like 30 people in a class and there were 5 couples. That was a bit, I didn't really like that, but I think it's really common to get together with somebody from your class. I don't think there are any couples in my class right now, but that is because I go to the university, and people have already like formed friendships and girlfriends and boyfriends like from before. So that is really common, just to kind of develop the friendships that you get in school. I think that most people become friends first and then they start becoming something more, rather than meeting and starting to date and like become something more than friends right away. I know that there are like dating sites on the internet, so in that way some people, I guess, they're dating because they know right away that the other person, when you meet, that you don't want to be just friends. And I guess you could call that dating, but that is not like common. Or maybe it is. Maybe people think it's like awkward and don't want to talk about it. I have no idea. But from the experiences that I have and from my friends' relationships, I know that it is usually people who are friends to begin with, and it just develops into something more. And like how that happens, I have no idea. Maybe people go to a party and they kind of hook up or something happens. I have no idea how people get together. I think that is really individual, but I would say it is not common to just meet once and know right away that you're going to be something more. Or maybe you know, but you kind of act like you just want to be friends and hang out and stuff like that. And also, I was asked how Norwegian relationships are. I think that Norwegian friendships are a bit closer. In my experience, that people from, for example, America, and again, I have like, I've never lived in America. I don't have an experience with it, but it is just my impressions. And I have also heard this from Americans who come to Norway, that people say that people have less friends and it is a bit harder to become friends, but once you are friends, you're much closer and you're not just like superficial friends, you're more of kind of really close. And I think it is also, and this is really individual, but some people like to have like a few friends that are really, really close, and some like to have a lot of friends who they don't know that much, but most people do have a few friends that they are really, really close with. The next thing that I have been asked, not as much as the other questions, but I've been asked it sometimes, and that is, how is the relationship between girls and boys? I think Norway is known for being the most like country with the most equality between the sexes, and I think Norway has kind of in some ways gonna be too far. Like there are people or they're making like their own groups to get more rights for the men again, because I think women have too many rights. And I think that kind of shows in society as well, that females are really equal to the guys. Boy and girl relationships that aren't like just friendships are really common. Guys don't like act in a perverted way, or most guys are really like friendly to the girls, other than some people, if they've been drinking, they can be a bit not so nice, but most times guys are really good towards the girls, and the other way as well. It isn't a problem at all, really. Another thing, and this is something that is really common, I think it's really sad, and that is that people are binge drinking in the weekends. That is a part of Norwegian culture, if you can call it that. I think it's really bad part of Norwegian culture, but it is really common that people, mostly teenagers and people in 20s, maybe 30s, but also older people actually, I think that's like gross. But that they go out and drink in the weekends, and they get like stupidly drunk, and they just do stupid things, and people are always really friendly towards each other, and a lot of people hook up, but I don't think, not a lot of people form friendships this way, because like when the night is over, when people are sober again, the friendships aren't as good as they were the night before. So like most people don't form friendships with just drinking together. Then it has to be something more. I think, again, some people are going to disagree with me on this, but I think that drinking and hooking up is really is a really bad way, and not actually a common way in Norway to get good friends and a good relationship. I know that some people become friends after drinking, but in my experience it is most like they become drinking friends, not friends that go and do other stuff together. So I hope this video explains some things, because I just get asked this a lot, and I think the biggest thing is that I have a different view on what a stranger is than other people. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and you can just comment if you agree with me on this, or if you don't agree. I think it's awesome to have a discussion and just get other people's views. And if you like more of these videos, you should like this video and subscribe, so then I know that you like this kind of videos, and I will obviously make more. Okay, bye bye!